Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Got a DM from Dean. He says, hey, listening to your guys' conversation about the Caleros hit, expect news today. Generally, they wait until the last minute to make these announcements a day or two before the game, before the first game of the week. And, of course, first game of the week tomorrow night, I believe Montreal, BC.
Well, funny, because the two teams are playing each other again on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Why would they wait this long, though? I'm sure the teams were probably informed maybe before the announcement would even come out, too, right? So
Sure.
I have to wonder.
Anyway,
that's thanks to Dean for that.
Yeah, let's hope we do get some news because the guys should get fined, suspended, or both. It'll help, make sure there's no goofy stuff during the game.
I will tell you this: it's the Banjo Bowl, so at some point, one of us is going to have to go home and watch the game to make sure that if he's playing or not Caleros, but
Right, we'll be too busy socializing.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. I'm looking forward to it.
If he's
every
playing,
year.
Joe, if he's playing, I'll be yelling at him the whole time. Miles Brown, you goon! You'll know if you're.
I'm sure that's gonna help the situation.
2 o'clock game time. I don't want to say start because the Banjo Bowl people start at about 9 a.m.
Oh, there's going to be tailgating. Yeah, for sure. That's the best part of the Banjo Bowl.
Well, there's tailgating every game, Curbs, to be
I
honest.
know, but it hits different on Banjo Bowl.
Well, yeah, because it's starting Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
Everything hits different for the Banjo Bowl.
When you start drinking mimosas before a Bomber game, you're early.
Well, I remember tailgating a couple years ago when I had my cousin come visit, and I was like, well, I'm going to give her the full experience of a Banjo Bowl. And so we went down there, and people were cooking breakfast.
Oh yeah,
in the parking lot, and it was pretty cool.
It's hardcore. Are you, Joe? Are you driving? What's
I'm
the
picking
plan? You're picking me up in Transcoda.
Oh my gosh, what a guy!
I've set the GPS, and I'm at the end of Charleswood, and it just said right now off of my bay onto the main thing. It says take a right, hit the perimeter.
It's on your way.
Take a right. And that's all. That's it. Then for like about 20 kilometers, it doesn't say anything. And then it'll take me into Canterbury Park. I pick you up. I said, okay, let's get back to the perimeter. You do perimeter, Pembina Highway, boom, we're right in.
That is beautiful.
I prefer the buses,
And Joe?
Yeah.
Well, on game day, on
that's
Banjo
fine.
Bowl,
Well, it's a good
That's
way.
fine.
It's a good
it's
way
such
to go.
a fun vibe.
Sure it
I
is.
don't know. There's just something like me and my girlfriend, we love to go to there's like a spot there at St. Vital where they have all the buses lined
Park and
up.
ride.
We'll usually get some pre-drinks in us from Earl's there, and then we'll just jump on a bus and go, and everybody's all excited on the bus there. So there's just like an excitement.
I'll be excited in Joe's SUV when he
I am
comes and gets
sure
me.
that's going to be an exciting ride, you two.
You know, you're not wrong, Curbs. There's a lot of places that charge, like they have the ticket and the bus, right? And then it usually includes a
it's
burger and a
convenient.
beer or something. And yours is costing you nothing.
Yeah, it's again on your way from Charleswood to the stadium.
Completely
I
on
told
the
you.
way.
Can you?
GPS says right now, take a right turn and go for about 30 kilometers, I
There
think it
might
is.
be a curveball in here, though. Would you ever pick me up at Dakota Arena instead? Because one of my kids
Sure.
has tryouts.
I might even stop in early to see the kids skate. It's been a while.
What a Saturday.
Well, why not?
It's going to be great.
Well, so I skipped the 9 o'clock breakfast outside. I'll have it at 10:15. What's the difference? It's Saturday.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
One of our best ofs recently, we were talking about mirrors. I think there was Kirby was teaching you how to do a selfie, Joe, and
In a mirror.
Yes,
In the bathroom.
Yes.
So that's where the whole and so this call came in the past few days about mirrors.
You guys are saying something about the mirrors and how mirrors can change someone. It's pretty much a true thing. When you go to the gym, mostly all gyms have their mirrors pushed out, so you feel like you're bulking up, and then you go home, you look at your regular mirror, and what do you know? You're back at normal size. But when you're at the gym, you feel like you're getting bigger, you feel like you're getting swollen, but only because their mirrors are pushed out enough to make you feel like that. And then when you get home, you feel like you got skinnier because you're looking at your mirror. To make sense.
I notice that at the gym all the time.
Deep thoughts from the gym.
That's why I quit the gym. It's unrealistic.
The mirrors?
Yeah. I told you as soon as I realized one day that this isn't really working for me.
And it was hard for you. You loved the gym.
I used to love it.
You're the, they used to call you old Gym Rat Aiello.
Yeah.
So for you to quit the gym, it was all about the
know it.
mirrors.
You know what? The mirrors do help though, because like with posture and stuff,
Yes.
when I'm working out and doing like weights at home, I have to go in front of the
Oh,
mirror.
you need the mirrors.
That's why I don't even work out at home. I got rid of all the mirrors.
Yeah, just because
I said I'm not a fun house.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Question here about Toodat, specifically 2 days ago, Tuesday.
Yeah.
The new viral sensation that Joe came up with, the hashtag.
Good morning, Philly, Joe, and Kirby. Happy Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, I have a question regarding your hashtag #2dad. So, like, it's 2 days ago Tuesday, but what if I do something on Tuesday? Can I still post it on Thursday? And it could be 2 days ago Thursday?
no.
Food for thought might help, spread the word and get a little bit more out there.
Joe, I mean, I get it. Everybody's talking about this, but you field this one.
I'm just going to run with you can't because there's already like Throwback Thursday. That's how Tuesday
Yes.
kind of got started. That's where I came up with the idea.
Yeah.
Because there's Flashback Friday, Throwback Thursday, whatever
You
else there
can't
is.
do like a Taco
No.
Thursday.
No,
it's
no,
Taco
it's-
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's
and
2 days ago Tuesday. That's it. Let's-
2 days ago Tuesday.
We're just trying to give Tuesday some attention.
And right, Kirby, good on you. He said food for thought. That'd be Taco Tuesday. You want tacos on Thursday? Go ahead. I'm not going to judge.
But it just
tacos.
doesn't have the same ring to it.
That's
want
right.
tacos every day. But you're right. Taco Tuesday, that's the day. Okay, Welsh Dragon, a question about Throwdown Thursday, which comes up at 7:10 this morning.
Hi, it's Welsh Dragon calling. I got the full Throwdown Thursday for you. Show against Joe in an eating contest. Okay, bye.
What? Me in an eating contest?
Us in
I
an
take my
eating
time.
contest, yeah.
You're the Wolverine around here. We proved
Yeah.
that yesterday when those Banjo burgers came in here. They brought in 8, and somehow within an hour there was only 4 left on the table. I
Yeah.
don't know what happened.
They were too good. They were too good to resist. But yes, you take your time. I'm a vacuum. Like I'm a shop vac when
Yeah.
the food's really good.
As
so.
if like that was the last Banjo burger being made on Earth. That's how fast you got through it. Like there was no way.
It's impressive.
I was worried someone was going to steal it from me, okay? Let's wrap up with the Raging Trucker. Wasps. Because it's cooling off, I haven't noticed them as much.
Ah! This is Raging Trucker here! Those darn wasps! If you want to get cat food and borax, go to Walmart and get some borax in the laundry section. Mix it in the cat food. In a plastic container, make a little hole for the wasp to get in. Maybe about an inch or so. Those wasps will get in there and eat it, and then they'll all be dead. Billy Joe and Kirby, you rock! Ah, yeah.
Borax and cat food.
Making your own.
Yeah, wasp trap. I've never heard of that one before.
No. Have you, Curbs?
Never.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'll anything works, man, for those wasps. Because the other day I went to go take out I had left my garbage on the balcony for like a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to go take it out and I went to like move it and like a couple wasps came
Oh,
out
they're
of there.
all over it. Like
Yeah.
I was like,
they-
whoa.
Any food waste in there, yeah.
There was a dead rabbit in my yard. They're all over that. Like they just
Wow.
they'll.
There's a lot of dead rabbits in,
Yeah,
in your yard, garage.
Yeah, it's rabbits everywhere in Canterbury Park.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
think they
they're
learn.
everywhere in Canterbury Park, but when they hit this one yard, it's over.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
2 cups apple cider, 2 cups water, 2 cups sugar, 12 drops of dish soap, mixed together till combined, put in a pail, and that works great for killing wasps. Once pail is full, throw out, repeat if necessary. That's on the Boston Pizza text line, a wasp trap recipe. We just got borax and
Cat food.
borax and cat
Yeah.
food. I had never heard cat
You're
food.
supposed to just like make a little hole in the top of the can of cat food and then pour some of the borax in and then set it out.
Is there anything more disgusting on earth than cat food? What is it about cat food when you open that can and you have to? You're a cat lady, and we have cat sitted before. Actually, no, my wife had cats when I first met her,
Yeah.
and you got to hold that can Like, is it just me, like, away from you? Or maybe that was just cheap
The
cat food?
the
I don't
canned
know.
cat food, yeah. My cats are on like a specialty diet and it's hard food, but I've had cats that for people before where you're trying to dish out that
Whiskas?
salmon pate and it's like it's all gelatin like and but you know what, the cats love it. They get super excited.
I had a cat, and I'll tell you
Morty.
right now, there was no hard food. And if you put hard food down for Morty, and he was a special needs cat, you'd get the look. Like, wait a second, pal. Bring out the wet food.
The real stuff.
And then you get the meows, as you know. Like, you can hear them in every other apartment when you bring the tune out. You bring out the high-end stuff.
I'll never forget my dad one time. He was in charge of making lunches for school, and I mean, I'll give him the fact that the tuna was right next to where our cat food was for our like cat growing up, and
In the pantry.
Yes, and he literally mixed cat food in with some mayo and some green onions and made us like what he thought tuna salad sandwich.
Wow. So that was the last time he made you guys sandwiches.
My brother and I came home from school that day and we were like, Dad, that was so gross, whatever the hell that was. And he was like,
You didn't eat it, though. You knew
no, right away it
something
was
wrong.
disgusting.
When both of you started, like, licking yourselves, must have been the first sign that it was
like,
the wrong food.
God, Dad, we'll make our own lunches.
Like, I appreciate these Wasp Trap recipes, but I'm telling you, for what is it, about $7.99 at Canadian Tire nowadays?
Oh, I'll just go buy one of those.
And they're so convenient. The bag Wasp Traps.
Yeah, when they're not sold out.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
that's true.
I think the one we have has some kind of protein in it. So, you know, when you pop the top, you have to, right? You fill it with water.
Fill it with, and it has a little bag.
And that bag has like a bunch of it looks like raw meat of some sort, right? I don't know what it is.
in the water.
Yeah. Mind you,
they
the
love
cat
it.
food can, though, how many wasps are you going to fit in there? With the borax,
not many.
you have to put it in something else,
I
don't you?
don't think that they go in there to die. I think they go in and eat.
And then they
and then
leave
go
the area.
away and
Okay.
pass.
See, mine die. I get instant
Yours are in the
visuals.
pool.
They're in that. I've got 2 traps in the yard.
Yeah.
They're both full right now,
Same.
and you can see
and
them
you
all
gotta
in
you
there.
gotta release those traps when they get too full.
They get all, you got to clean it out. It's kind of gross, but
I mean, I imagine as a homeowner, though, it's kind of satisfying to see that you've captured all those.
you know me. I love wilderness in my yard, and I watch that trap.
I know. Like, I would
nonstop.
imagine for you, Phil, that's pretty, like, you're like, oh, look at all
I'm narrating
these.
it.
I can't wait for the YouTube channel. These bags
man.
full of wasps.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast. Philly Joe and Kirby's
Throwdown Thursday.
Every Thursday around this time, we pit. Well, it could be anything. It can be couple of action stars. It can be good guys, bad guys. It can be just normal people. It can be birds. We've had birds. Today, we're going to the animal kingdom for Throwdown Thursday, and we've got one of Beg Gold Eye's tickets up for grabs. So just for commenting on the 92.1 City Facebook page or on our text line 762-555, you can win yourself tickets.
Well, if you're going to call this Throwdown Thursday, you might as well say it. You got a couple of heavyweights here. This is super
boy.
heavyweights.
Yeah.
I mean, both these animals can range up to about 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, this is not for the faint of heart, this battle. We've got a hippo versus a rhino. A hippo versus a rhino.
Wow. We're going to what is this? This is the Outback?
Animal kingdom.
Well, you're
yeah.
certainly going to Africa or India, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The outback would be what, Australia? So
Have you ever seen a rhino? You saw a hippo at the zoo
Yeah.
last year or this summer, Joe, right? Yeah.
In Calgary Zoo, they had a couple of hippos rolling around in the mud.
I don't think I've ever seen a rhino, though. Maybe.
No.
I've never seen either. in
Barely
person.
any rhinos left in the world, from what I was reading.
And I watch a lot of animal fights on YouTube. I've never.
Sadly, they get killed because of their keratin.
Yeah, they're horns.
The horns people,
Poached.
poached.
Poachers.
Yes.
But
Okay, I see.
okay, Kerps, where do you want to go? Hippos or rhinos?
Well, I mean, the hippo has those teeth in the jaw, and the weight. That's about
Well, they're both about the same weight.
Yeah.
Like they can get to the same weight.
okay. I don't know. There was a game called Hungry Hungry Hippos.
That
Great
alone,
game.
that
Yeah.
alone should get a check mark to the hippopotamus.
I loved that game.
The
It was
branding.
so aggressive.
There's no rhino game that involves marbles. I'll tell you that,
That
right
is
now.
very
that
true.
I know of.
I'm going to go with the hippo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hippos are badass. Like,
I will tell you, looking at pictures in comparison of them standing next to each other, boy, that rhino really looks like thick, huge, the horn. But then when you realize that the hippo has like the biggest mouth and teeth, right?
yeah.
And they come at you, I keep reading. Here's the thing. They're telling us the hippo is one of the most aggressive animals in the world and the most ferocious in Africa.
Yeah.
That alone, I'm going hippo. It might be a lot simpler than I thought by just looking at these animals. Even though the rhino and that horn looks like it could really do some damage.
I just read too that on land, like if they're on land, it's gonna be like a fight for sure. But if the hippo can get the rhino into the water, rhinos do not do well in water. Hippos do.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
A rhino wouldn't enter the water. He'd be like, we're fighting on the ground.
Hippos roll around in water to stay cool because they don't have whatever the glands are, right? And
So
that's
do
why
I
they roll in the mud.
sometimes.
But I'll tell you what they learn me. Yeah, well, why
Turn
not?
the
That's why you
sprinkler
take
on.
3 showers
Yeah,
a day.
that's right.
You're
I don't
basically
know.
a hippo.
I don't know about rhinos, but I did learn this at the Calgary Zoo, and I brought it up before. And this is the one thing. Never mind the mouth and the teeth, but hippos, they warn you, they'll fling their poo with their tails, and that could be damaging to a rhino too.
That's dirty pool,
That's
though.
dirty
the
pool.
ref would have to step in and warn the hippo. Hey, you can't do
You know
that.
how it works. The referee doesn't see what's going on behind.
It's a natural function. It just happens as he fights.
Yeah.
I'm going with a rhino, that horn. They've got that
Oh.
really tough skin.
I will say this: Rhino's a cooler nickname. If you got a friend that's
Spider-Man bad
nicknamed
guy.
Rhino,
Yeah.
right? That's usually a pretty tough person.
Yeah, you don't have too many buddies that are
And they, hippo. If they are, you think because they're bigger and they waddle when they walk.
My stipulation, though, is no throwing poo. So we'll set that up. As long as there's no flinging poop, I'm going rhino. Let us know what you think. Throwdown Thursday.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
It's PJK Extra. Just wondering, you guys, how many mirrors do you have in the house and where are they located? Because we were chatting about mirrors. It came up on the bone phone on the program. And the caller was indicating that he doesn't like mirrors at the gym because they're misleading. And so I'm just wondering, like, how many mirrors in the house, Joe? Can you think off the top of your head where they're at?
Well, I'm not going to count the one on the ceiling.
In the bedroom?
No, the garage. I like to get all my work done in the garage.
Listen, when Joe's working on the muscle
You know
car,
me.
he likes it when Christy wanders out to the garage.
aerial view. Okay, I
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's a little role play.
How much for my car, sir?
I'll tell you right now, when I had Garage Masters come and improve, they said, well, we don't sell too many mirrors for the ceiling in a garage. But seriously, one in the hallway, I guess the foyer, there's a little one. One in the living room, 2 bathroom. You know what? I'm going to go with, one of the doors. I'm going to say 7.
7 mirrors?
Well, because of the bedrooms, each have like one of them is a sliding door closet. One's
you have
a
the
mirror.
doors on the there's
So
some
I'm going
places
to count
that have
those.
that.
So I'm guessing it's about 6 or 7 overall.
Okay, curbside.
Man, I got a mirror in every room,
I was just
basically.
going to say, I bet you've got the most in this room, a few mirrors.
Well, I probably have the smallest place.
Yeah, but per capita.
Per capita, and you only live alone. So that's a real big number.
I think the weirdest place in my house that has a mirror is
That wasn't the question, but you go
Is
ahead.
the kitchen.
Since you asked, Phil, the weirdest place I have a mirror.
I'll tell you what, the Red River X, okay, the fun house doesn't have as many mirrors as your house.
Well, you just always got to know, how you're looking.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're teasing, but it's not like Joe threw down 7 mirrors there. I mean,
And some of them are decorative.
we've got
Yes.
the bathrooms, and we've got the 3 bathrooms in the house. They all have a mirror. Both boys have mirrors. No, they don't have mirrors in their room. So, and then we have the full length in the walk-in closet. So that's 4, and then one. My wife works out she has a gym area in the
basement,
In the
yeah.
basement, so there's to 3 mirrors there. So
You're already at 7.
that's right.
Yeah. So you're right. Per capita, just in this room alone, Kirby,
Kirby
who lives
wins.
alone in an apartment, 1 floor, has, well, how many then? 7?
Well, more than 7 probably. But can I just say though, like
More?
bathrooms without mirrors should be illegal.
Yeah, that's
Because I have
strange.
gone into, like, there was a bathroom on the golf course when we were just recently out together, and no mirror.
Did you complain to the pro? Or?
I should have, because I wanted to
Can I
know.
speak to the
like,
general manager?
I needed to know what I was looking for.
Course is playing well today, but there's a bathroom.
And they certainly want to hear on a private course from a non-member about.
I'm not a member.
But you should have mirrors
At
in the
the very
bathroom, I'm
least,
telling you. Like,
how am I supposed to know what I look like going back out on the course without
what
a
is
mirror?
what is the hope there that you don't spend more time in the bathroom?
I bet you
You
it'll
get
come
in
up.
and get out.
I bet you it'll come up at the annual meeting.
Well, I'm going to send
of
a
members.
comment.
Board members.
There was a woman, she wasn't a member.
Hold on a second. So the share is $5,000 to join, and then it's another $3,000 a year. How much is this lady paying?
Well, I was going to join, but there isn't a mirror in the bathroom.
We got an email. I'll read it all out here. Hello, sir. I am not a member, but I tried to take a selfie in one of your bathrooms at a charity tournament.
If you came to my house,
There is more than an opportunity, okay?
What
for selfies.
kind of course are you running, sir? Okay, that's PJK Extra. Thanks for listening.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
See, again, this has to be an illegal move unless we, as a Dave Hepner, the old ref, like we can't
there's
have.
two. There was Earl and Dave Hepner of the WWE. Both were their twin brothers.
Weren't they crooked refs?
Well, one of them, yeah. Well, they both ended up crooked.
Okay,
But-
well, my point is that because someone on the Boston Pizza text line with Throwdown Thursday saying Rhino will flip poo right in the hippo's eyes like Fuji dust. And I'm sitting here going,
Yeah.
no,
that's a hippo.
That's
that
a
will
hippo.
throw the.
Oh, yes, the hippo.
But then again, you've got the rhino that looks like he's got the boots of the Iron Sheik with that little horn at the end that he used to use in his illegal move.
But that's a part of his. That's one of his weapons. The poo is to me. That's an illegal move.
That's true. I do want to throw this out there, by the way, because we're doing a little bit more research. And the hippo, apparently, look at the size of those teeth. Like, I don't know what benefit package hippos have, but the rhino does not have good eyesight.
Which could be,
Yeah.
a detriment.
I feel like the rhino's move is charge and hope for the best. Like hope that animal's got to run because you know what I mean. If without the good eyesight, he's not going to want to go
Full steam ahead.
Yeah, it's like the charge has to work for the rhino, and most animals will get the hell out of there when a rhino charges, but a hippo probably isn't.
I'm going to say 50-50 split right now, though, on the votes.
Somebody said, Kirk on the Boston Pizza text line says that hippos kill more people in Africa than any other animal in that region. Can you imagine fearing a hippo? Like, that would be
attack.
like you're just trying
Watch out for
to
hippos.
walk somewhere and you got to watch for a hippo.
It also said about rhinos that, where was it now? That they're actually a little bit more or less aggressive and more sociable.
Rhinos are?
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, some forms. There's different forms of rhinos, though, right? You got the white rhinos, black rhinos.
Yes,
and then,
different species,
yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Someone says, this is a hot dog guy on the text line. Poo in the eyes will give the rhino pink eye.
Yes. And they already have bad eyesight. I don't know what benefit package these poor rhinos are getting for optical.
Leave the rhino's eyes alone.
Well,
Poor guy.
if you're going to fling poo with your tail.
No flinging poo. Make it a clean fight.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
And I told you guys, well, I didn't tell you this part, but thank you to the, I'm going to take credit
I
for it.
love when you say, I told you so.
I told you. Well, it was my hunch that a rhino could take a hippo. It's Throwdown Thursday. You can win yourself tickets to go see the Gold Eyes Game 2 tomorrow night, Blue Cross Park. Go to the Facebook page and weigh in, or on our Boston Pizza text line, 762-555. Kirby, is that a text that we got?
No, it's a message that we got on our Instagram page.
Somebody saying that a hippo's teeth, as badass as they are, and there's a lot of them in there, can't penetrate the rhino's skin. And I did read that rhino's skin is insanely robust. Like you
Tough.
cannot, it's very hard to penetrate.
I think the problem here might be we're looking at a one-on-one battle, but it looks like hippos have a herd where rhinos are a little bit more independent in that regard. So I wonder if you're talking a Royal Rumble style takedown here.
Don't curveball
No. I'm just saying, I think that's maybe because we keep reading about hippos being the most aggressive animal in Africa.
Yeah.
And most animal deaths come from hippos. Like rhinos, I got tough skin. Maybe that's where that saying came.
I got a horn.
Maybe the insults weren't working for the hippos. That's where the tough skin thing came available. Rhinos, I got tough skin. I can handle it.
I would say they almost never fight because they're just the type. There's that respect, right?
Yeah, they kind of seem like they're two alpha animals in
right.
there.
They look a little lethargic, if you ask me. Both of them just,
right.
They seem to be very calm too. Like, I mean, although like aggressive, like hippos can be aggressive. Like they're known for it. But rhinos, I was also reading, Phil, and you were right about them being a full on straight ahead kind of charge.
Well, they can't see.
They can't turn either. They can't make like a sharp turn when they're running.
At that weight, Joe can't make a sharp turn. Have you ever watched him walking down the hallway?
My eyesight's a little better than a rhino's, but there's no way I'm making that pivot that quick anymore without a knee.
Last week in our meeting with the boss, he was going down the hall, Aiello, and someone called him from another hall, and he tried to make a sharp turn, and he ran right into the photocopier. He couldn't make that turn.
Joe.
My skin's not as thick as a rhino. Tell you that much.
Well, be nicer to him then, Phil.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Philly Joe and Kirby's completely useless question.
Useless with a capital Y.
So useless.
Brought to you by Midtown Ford.
780 City, 780, 2484. If you want to win tickets to the Banjo Bowl on Saturday, Riders and Bombers. We also have passes for Maize and Corn up for grabs. Joe has the question.
You know, we talked about this earlier this morning, and there was a lot of Winnipeggers, as they usually do, go away for Labor Day. They go out to the game out there, and, the Grey Cup's known as the National Drunk. So I thought I'd throw this one out there today because Banjo Bowl is coming, and it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint on Saturday, let's be honest. We eat 30% more of this when we're drunk. Think about that.
Well, intoxication. What do you eat more of when you're intoxicated?
Well,
780 City.
And I think what plays here, too, is depends on what time you're talking about here, right? Because, when you were younger, it usually be a late night
Jamaican patty
kind of
from
thing.
Sev.
Whatever it takes. Okay, I'm going to throw this out there right now. Jamaican patty is not in the top 5.
Oh, it's going to be one of my guesses.
That's a mulligan. I'm saving you.
They were delicious.
Yeah, sure they were. Like taquitos.
Anything from Sev.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Good morning.
Hi. I'm going to go with Philly, please, for life.
Philly, 30% more of these is what you're eating when you're drunk.
Let's go with chicken wings.
Number 4. Number 4.
Sorry about that.
Well, you can't be sorry if you're cracking the top 5 like that easy.
Makes it a good guess. 780 City, good morning.
Good morning. How about nachos?
How about nachos?
Just like that.
Just like that today.
One of your faves, Joe.
Yeah. I don't eat them late at night when I'm hammered. I'll eat them anytime, even when I'm sober. I love nachos.
Nachos was the answer to another question a couple of weeks ago.
Was it?
Not different question, but I'm sure of it. Yeah, nachos came
Well,
up.
you brought up Sev. I mean, that used to be my go-to, like the cheese pump.
sauce.
Yeah. Cheese is a hard word to use, but yes, that's what they call it. The cheese.
It's a sauce. I don't care what. It's a salty sauce
It
that
helps
looks like
those
cheese.
chips go down,
Yes, it
okay?
does. But how about this? Burgers. I thought burgers would have been number 1 still because of the drive-thrus, but nachos was number 1. Burgers number 2. Pizza number 3. Wings number 4, which you nailed. And believe it or not, tacos number 5. Not taquitos. Those are kind of newer.
I had a taquito the other
Aren't they
day,
nice?
buffalo chicken. Oh my God! I'm like, tell the chef. I told the guys at Sev, he's doing a great job.
Well, were
They
you
were-
drunk? Tell the
It
chef.
tastes better when you're hammered.
Who's this?
It's Dutch.
With
Dutch.
Dutch.
Whoa.
Love that
Okay.
name. Dutch was
Dutch.
one before, ages ago.
Yeah. You
Greatest name.
You were great in the movie Predator, man. Hang on, we got to get some info.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
How about this? A Winnipegger on the next season of Survivor. Kirby, you're telling us off air that this is the first time ever
Yeah.
That I can
local
remember.
product.
That we'll have a Winnipegger on the show. Yeah, we've had Canadians on Survivor before because they've allowed Canadians to apply for the show. I think for 6 years now, 6 seasons.
Yeah, something like that.
This has to be close to the longest running show of all time. Like The Simpsons is
Oh my God.
Like Survivor's been on forever.
I remember like gathering around with the family when it first started, and that was like our show. And then at work there'd be like survival pools. And
Had
stuff.
one of those. I never participated.
Yeah. Actually did it as a contest. Like you would have people doing that at workplaces, right? But they used to run it more than once a year. So when you hear 47 seasons, it hasn't been around for 47 years.
Yeah.
They used to have like a couple of, like a spring and a fall kind of thing.
That and Big Brother both are
Yes.
two very long-running reality TV shows.
What I love about this is that if you think just as a Winnipegger, and if you were stereotyping a Winnipegger, and this girl's name is what? Genevieve?
Genevieve, what a nice
Mushaluk?
name. Yeah.
Something. She's a lawyer.
She's a 33-year-old lawyer from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
She actually applied every single year that she was able to apply as a Canadian, got very close to being accepted, but turned away the last couple of years, and she could have just gave up. But she decided to throw her name in the hat one more time and got on the show.
So here's the thing. If you're a Winnipegger going on a show, and this show's built on alliances and that, well, she's a Winnipegger. Friendly Manitoba. Boom. She should be really good with other people on the show.
Her social game will be good.
Dealing with what we deal here, like mosquitoes and that kind of stuff, in Fiji, that's going to be like paradise for her. You'd have to believe.
Well, you'd have to think she's an outdoorsy person,
Yeah.
right? Why else would you want to be on that show so badly?
Loves video games, though, Phil.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what she does in her off time, yeah.
Not going to be doing that for a month
no,
on Survivor in Fiji. But so, yeah, that's kind of interesting. And I watched the show early on like Kirby did. That would interest me again to get in on the show to watch this Winnipegger.
It was the same way when I remember we had a couple of Winnipeggers on Big Brother Canada. Like you want to watch the show because you're like cheering on people from your city.
Sure.
Yeah, but that's still Big Brother Canada.
Yeah.
This is like
I know you're right.
worldwide.
This is Survivor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Temptation Island still on the air?
Phil, that was like early 2000s.
That was my
man.
show, man. I loved that.
Aren't you watching Love Island on
What the
Netflix
hell?
or whatever it is now? Anything Island? Anything Island.
Like what could go wrong at a reality show where they had a bunch of hot women and men on an
show.
island who were in relationships, and then they put a bunch of other people around and hope to God the temptation doesn't get to them.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Phil, you're on the wrong island if you think that's what you're going to get on Survivor 47.
Go, Genevieve!
Yeah.
For more Philly, Joe, and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.